Hey guys, and welcome back to yet another Apex Legends video. Quite often when I'm live streaming Apex on Twitch, I get a lot of questions asking how to get better at the game. So today I've decided to put together a quick list of 5 ways of improving at Apex Legends. This is primarily aimed at newer players, but hopefully even some of the older players might find some value in what I'm about to say. Little disclaimer, I'm not the best Apex player out there. I see myself as an above average player where I'm able to win a lot of my fights. These pointers help me improve as a player, so hopefully sharing this knowledge with you will let you improve as well. So anyway, let's just jump straight into this. So number 1, know when to pull out. I feel like this applies in the real world as well. You never want to end up with a surprise 9 months down the line, which is going to prevent you from grinding out Apex. So what do I mean by know when to pull out? In order to win more games and survive for longer, you need to be able to pull back from a fight for one of 2 reasons. Heal and recharge your shields, or simply pull back from a fight that is unwinnable. A very common mistake I see players make is that they get damaged early fight, where there is still quite a lot of space between the 2 fighting squads, but they refuse to pull back to heal. Usually they'll run straight in trying to score a quick kill. It is very important to look for opportunities to heal during a fight. Prioritize healing over cheap kills that will get you out of the game. If you're in a position to recharge your shields, make sure you do so. You'll be surprised how much of a difference that can make. Trust your teammates, take turns fighting the enemy squads, and have constant rotation of people healing and shielding mid-fight. On top of that, always expect a new squad to show up at any point during the fight or straight after. After you manage to win a fight against the enemy squad, prioritize healing before looting the dead bodies, unless you're out of heals and obviously need to loot them from the dead players. Apex is a fast-paced game. Squads look for any opportunity to take a fight. That's why you often end up fighting 2 or more squads at the same time. I've been in so many situations where you essentially win one fight against the squad, you end up looting the bodies, you haven't shielded up or anything, and you just get taken out by an enemy squad that shows up pretty much instantly. That way you're not really able to do much anymore. Then you have to rely on your teammates in order for them to heal you, or everybody gets taken out and you're out of the game. So make sure you heal as much as possible. For a lot of veteran Apex players, I think it goes without saying that you have to use your abilities to gain the upper hand over the enemy. I can't even tell you how many people simply don't use their abilities correctly, or even worse, don't use them at all. Sure, some legends are arguably stronger than others, but every single one of them has some sort of a utility for any scenario. Pathfinder, for example. Always try to provide a height advantage for your team. The amount of fights we've managed to win simply because we're positioned above the enemy, which allowed us to bombard them with grenades and allow us for easy healing. With Bangalore, her smoke is useful in so many ways. Have it be revives, looting, flanking, or even using it for distracting enemies. For example, popping the smoke behind the enemy so they think there's another squad pushing them. Simply try to use all the utility that you've been given to by the game. Apex is different to a lot of other battle royale games. Your legends have abilities for a reason. Try to use them the best you can. Don't be afraid to try out different legends to see what works best for you. Remember that a lot of those abilities also have a very fast cooldown, and a good use of an ability can often make the difference between winning and losing the game. Number 3, fire from the hip. I can't express how much this has helped me. Overnight, I went from winning a small percentage of my fights to winning majority of them. The big thing for me from hip firing is the visibility. Quite often when you aim down sights, your visibility is quite limited, with the gun taking up a significant portion of the screen, and with the different visual effects happening at the same time obstructing your vision. With the gun out of the way, you have a very clear view of the enemy, which should make you accurate in the process. A lot of weapons in Apex are like lasers at close range, especially if you get the right attachments. Even some weapons have a dot in the middle of your screen for the reticle, making hip firing much easier. I do recommend you try out hip fire a lot more in future games. For me, like I said, it was the biggest game changer. When I started using hip fire, it just completely changed the game for me. Hopefully for you, it will be the same. Taking as many fights as possible. I've noticed a lot of new players will try to land for quote-unquote safe areas where no one is really going to drop. But I think you should be doing the opposite. In a game about fighting for survival and being the last team standing, I think it's quite important to take as many fights as possible to practice engagements and have them become something you're used to. Let's put it that way. If you start the game, drop for a safe area, don't see anyone for 15 minutes, and all of a sudden it's down to you and one other squad. You have to take the fight and you end up losing. This is probably because you haven't engaged with anyone the whole game and you end up being too stressed for the last fight. Trust me when I say I got really stressed over every engagement, which led to me making a lot of mistakes, failing to keep a level head. Now on the other hand, you drop for a hot zone, take on the fight and lose after 5 minutes. You do that 3 times and you've taken 3 times as many fights as before in the same amount of time. Eventually you'll start winning more and more of those fights, making them seem more regular, which will let you relax more and keep a level head. That way you won't make as many mistakes as you normally would, and obviously you will have practice in all different scenarios. To summarize, take as many fights as possible, even if you lose a lot of them to begin with. That way with the practice and experience from those losses, you will eventually start winning. Last but not least, communicate. I think it kind of goes without saying for this one. Pretty much everyone right now has some sort of a microphone, so use it. The ping system in Apex is truly revolutionary, but quite often you can't accurately describe what's happening with pings. Apex is a team-based game, and on PC I think I only came across less than 10 people who use their microphone in the game, and I have pretty much close to 160 hours so far played. If you play as a solo, I think this is the best thing you can do. Not only are you going to have a better game experience, you're more likely to meet like-minded players who you can add and play with in the future, eliminating the communication problem with randoms who refuse to use their microphones. Anyway, that is gonna do it, guys. I hope you find some of these helpful. It's fair to say that some of these tips are pretty obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people just throw everything they know out the window as soon as they see an enemy squad. I just wanted to say that I live stream Apex Legends on Twitch every single day, so if you want to join in and hang out, the link is going to be in the description. Hope to see some of you guys over on my Twitch. But that is going to do it for this video, guys. Kind of a shorter one once again. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new to the channel for plenty more Apex Legends. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you're going to have a wonderful day, and I shall see you guys next time. Take care, goodbye. Bye-bye.